Joining me from Ukraine's capital, Kiev, is Iuliia Mendel, a former press secretary of President Zelensky. Iuliia Mendel, look, thank you so much for joining me. First of all, I'm not the only one. When you first had a comedian elected president of Ukraine, we thought, are you serious? Really? This man, I would say, is the bravest leader in the West, or maybe the whole world. What do you know of him?
Well, I was working for President Zelensky for 2 years. Actually, I'm now in Lviv. This is a little correction, and I'm very grateful for you to telling all the story of Ukrainians. I am hardly now coping with the emotions because we've been living in all of this for 5 years, for 5 days, and this actually seems like 5 years, to be frank, and we are all torn apart. But Volodymyr Zelensky always has been one of the most hardworking people that I've ever met, and he always was showing his courage, not for the cameras, but just between his delegation, between his people and friends. So for you to understand, we were traveling to Donbas zone. This was the zone that Russia attacked 8 years ago, and there is a part of occupied land there. So there were always some shelling, and he never was afraid to go to the shelling place, even when his security was trying to get him out from there, because he was saying, listen, there are our Ukrainian soldiers sitting there and they are not afraid of shelling. Why would I be afraid? If I come there, they will understand that the president of the country and their country is standing behind them and is not afraid. If the president is going away from the shelling, then this means that he doesn't care. So he always cares, and this is very important. And I remember when we had another crisis situation with the Iran plane, Ukrainian plane shot by Iran at the beginning of 2020, he actually showed that he is so hardworking. He had worked round the clock without having any sleep, and he will be the most devoted person to this country to help to do whatever is possible. Right now, he is fighting two directions. One direction is, of course, trying to coordinate all the military actions happening in the country following all the situation, encouraging people, providing a lot of decrees. Like, for instance, on the first day of the fighting, he allowed all Ukrainians who want to fight in territorial defense units to have free rifles. And we have these territorial units as very strong units on the ground, making checkpoints and defending people. Or, of course, he called for reservists. He made a political decision which probably is not liked by many Ukrainian men, but which is correct and difficult decision. He did not allow men from 18 to 60 years old to leave the country. We don't mind, but still, I'm sure that there are people who are not happy about that. So he is, and the second, and of course, he is unifying the people because he is saying that the state is standing behind them, and he is always talking to Ukrainians for several times per day, telling about the situation, explaining what's going on. And this is very important for every Ukrainian. The respect to the president is rising above. And the second direction is, of course, a diplomatic thing, because for you to understand, we know that Russia does not treat Ukraine as a subject. And Putin really underestimated Ukraine and overestimated himself. He thought that Russian troops would come to 40 million nation and just take us in a day or two. This is ridiculous. This is our land. We have been an independent country for 30 years. We are patriots of this country. This is the country that gave us our values, our hopes, our dreams, our future, and we want to build this future as prosperous and equal as possible. So in this situation, when the world stands for us, this is so much important. This is unbelievably important. And the President Zelensky was talking to all the leaders around the world to explain the situation, to fight the Russian disinformation, and to ask for help. Up to now, we are getting military help, we are getting finance help, we are getting putting his narrow circle banks, Russian structures.
Yuliia, you're finally getting serious help. You're finally getting serious help. I think the help they're giving now should have been given a month ago. And the help they give next week should have been given last week. This is the time, now. Now, I'm nearly out of time, but I need to ask you, with everything, Russia's thrown just about everything at you. Can it win this war? Its army is 4 times bigger than yours, more. Can it win this war?
We don't believe that Russia will invade us. We believe that we will stand for this because every Ukrainian is now fighting Russian soldiers. There is no any Ukrainian in the country that would not stand against Russian. It doesn't matter if they have rifles in their hands or, if they just go out, talk, and ask them to go away. For you to understand, Russians are not that prepared too, because they did not think it will take them so long to conquer the country. I'm myself from the south of the country. This is the region that is bordering annexed Crimea. They have captured there already 4 towns near their center city where my parents are, and this is terrifying. But the issue is that they are begging for food and they're robbing shops for food. They don't have what to eat right now. The other thing is that my mother is a pediatrician and she's going to work every day and she's hiding in bomb shelters with newborn kids. This is disastrous to hear. And they've been living with all these shelling explosive things nearby them for 5 days. She just messaged me when you were talking that there are some Russian troops already in the city. We are fighting back and we got the victories. So, of course, they attacked from north, east, and south, and they came to the capital very fast.
Yuliia, look,
but we will fight to the very end.
We are watching. We're on the other side of the world. And I tell you what, Australia is watching too. It's not just your fight. We're there. We're also sending, I'm glad to say, lethal weaponry. We'll be sending that. Our government will be sending that. We wish you all the best. Iuliia Mendel, keep safe, and I hope you win. Thank you so much for your time.